This is the tip of the iceberg. We had a press conference last year where we laid out multiple NGOs to the tune of $1 billion where monies are being funneled to non-governmental organizations, tax dollars. So this is a tip of the iceberg. We'll continue to dig in this, find out what more examples we can dig up on this particular issue. But I wanted to bring this to light because this is just one NGO. This is just one issue, but it's a situation where Illinois taxpayers are paying for federal law to be usurped here in the state of Illinois and to impede federal law enforcement. So it's something that we need to talk about.
It's Republican State Representative Adam Niemerg. Chatted with him yesterday about his concerns of a non-government organization getting tax dollars to impede federal law enforcement. The organization he is talking about is Centro de Trabajadores Unidos, and he says that they're getting more than $1 million of your tax dollars and doing things that aren't above board when it comes to federal immigration law. And even, he alleges, going towards impeding federal immigration law. I'm Greg Bishop. I am editor of the Center Square, Illinois. Go to Illinois' page and you'll be able to stay up on these and other issues and just get headlines in your inbox from all of the Center Square. Go to the newsletter portion and you can sign up there. So chatted with State Representative Adam Niemerg, Republican from Dieterich, and he talked about this organization that he says is getting tax dollars from you, the state taxpayer.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. So it's to the amount of $1.18 million we've uncovered. This is just another example of a NGO that has zero accountability and is just run amok outside the parameters of state government. And we have a governor and a speaker who are funding an NGO with a mission statement to impede ICE investigations and get in the way of federal law enforcement. They have an active group funded by this $1.18 million from taxpayers of the state of Illinois to impede ICE detainees, to impede cases, and also to impede ICE federal authorities while they are doing their job. So it's a very terrible situation we find ourselves in. And here we go. We see another NGO, another non-governmental organization funded by the taxpayers of the state of Illinois for a political ideological purpose. And furthermore, this violates federal law. So we need a full First off, this needs to stop. Then we need a full investigation of why these monies are being allocated to an organization that is impeding federal law. And then we need President Donald Trump to hold some federal funding coming to the state of Illinois and find out what exactly is going on here. And then we need Pam Bondi to conduct a full investigation on why the state of Illinois is blocking federal law and federal immigration authorities.
So let's go check the comptroller's checkbook, and you can do this yourself. Go to the comptroller's website, openbook.illinoiscomptroller.gov, and you'll be able to find this. And if you type in really any organization you want to see how much money they're getting from you, the taxpayer, you can type that in. So we've got Centro de Trabajadores Unidos. You search that, contracts, and it'll pop up. After a bit here of doing all the beep bop boop bop beep bop, and we've got, well, here we go. For several
here's
years,
the actual
they've been getting your tax dollars. So in 2015, they got $500,000 from the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. 2023, they got $1 million from DCEO. In 2024, they got $128.5 million, 128,000, I should say, dollars. Commerce and Economic Opportunity gave them $250,000 in 2024 also, and in 2024, another grant for more than $500,000. In 2025, you can see those numbers all adding up. So a lot of money there. And Niemerg says it's 1.8 some odd million dollars. What exactly is it this group is doing that Niemerg says is inappropriate, especially when they get state tax dollars? He lays that out.
Well, here's the actual. We can go to their website and you can see this. They have a group, the Southeast Rapid Response Team. It exists to confront the ICE raids and detention and deportation cases affecting our communities. Essentially, they're mobilizing political activists that we've seen all over the country, most recently in Minneapolis, to get in the way of federal law enforcement. So if there is an ICE raid happening in Chicago and there's folks there impeding that investigation, being arrested by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, this organization is mobilizing those individuals. Then furthermore, they have a Facebook group, which activates those individuals, gives them talking points, gives them the information they need to combat federal law. It's a situation where we have taxpayers from Illinois paying for an organization that is actively impeding federal law, and they have a mission statement to do just that. Furthermore, another mission statement they have is to root out capitalism in this country, to root out capitalism and to combat climate change and global warming. If this isn't a political ideology that's being funded by the Illinois taxpayers, I don't know what is. Federal immigration authorities are under attack constantly and daily. ICE is under attack daily. And now we have Illinois taxpayers flipping the bill for that to happen, and it has to stop.
Now, Niemerg, again, calling for investigations, calling for federal funds to be withheld, and you heard President Donald Trump in the last segment say this.
If we get rid of fraud and do our job properly on the trillions that are being extorted out of our country from corrupt and incompetent governors like Gavin Newsom, J.B. Pritzker, and Tim Walz, we will very soon have a balanced budget, and that's the kind of money that we're talking about. We're talking about massive amounts of money.
So Trump announcing yesterday he's looking to withhold federal funding from all sanctuary jurisdictions. What that's going to look like, we'll be watching. But in Illinois, Niemerg's watching this very closely, and he says it's just the tip of the iceberg.
This is the tip of the iceberg. We had a press conference last year where we laid out multiple NGOs to the tune of $1 billion where monies are being funneled to non-governmental organizations, tax dollars. So this is a tip of the iceberg. We'll continue to dig in this, find out what more examples we can dig up on this particular issue. But I wanted to bring this to light because this is just one NGO. This is just one issue, but it's a situation where Illinois taxpayers are paying for federal law to be usurped here in the state of Illinois and to impede federal law enforcement. So it's something that we need to talk about.
Now, Niemerg is a Republican in the super minority at the State House, and I asked him yesterday when we chatted last night, will Democrats see this as a problem? What does he think about his colleagues? Can he get them to see this as an issue, or does he think that they're going to turn a blind eye here?
Oh, they're going to look the other way. We've spent close to $3.4 billion on illegal immigration in the state of Illinois already. I don't think the Illinois Democrats care about federal law. I don't think they care about the people of this state. They obviously don't care about the pocketbooks of the taxpayers here in the state of Illinois. So I assume they're going to look the other way. But much like what's happening in Minnesota with Tim Walz and the fraud scandal up there, it's up to us to find these NGOs, root out corruption and fraud at all levels, make things like this go national to bring the spotlight on Illinois to fix this state.
What that spotlight will look like, we'll be seeing and watching and tracking and reporting out to you at thecentersquare.com. Niemerg also talks about just the need for more scrutiny on all of this, and in particular how he says this group, if they're encouraging and organizing people to monitor ICE activities and encouraging them to impede in some way, that they're being put in harm's way.
Absolutely. 100% putting them in harm's way. Anytime you mobilize radical political activists such as these organizations do, and we've seen this all over the country, especially what we've seen in Minneapolis, if we see these organizations putting these people in harm's way, impeding federal law enforcement, bad things happen. We don't want any more loss of life. We don't want that to happen. But when you impede, when you try to hurt a federal immigration authority, these things can go south very, very fast, and we don't want anybody to get hurt. But yes, they're absolutely putting them in harm's way. When you mobilize organizations, when you mobilize people like this, when you put the hate in somebody's heart, these things go south very fast.
And all of this, obviously, after the police-involved shooting in Minnesota of a woman that was blocking ICE traffic and seemed to drive into an ICE officer who opened defensive shots, according to DHS, striking and killing the woman. Obviously, ICE activities drawing a lot of emotional response. And on the other side, you've got a lot of criticism as to the funding and how tax dollars are being used. Niemerg's not the only one that's raised these issues. Republican gubernatorial candidate Ted Dabrowski, who's in the primary March 17th with 3 other Republicans vying for the party's nomination, he held a news conference earlier this month and talked about the tax dollars that are going to various nonprofits.
We have groups doing that here in Illinois, and there's been great work done by Breakthrough Ideas here in Illinois. One of the examples is Trabajadores Unidos, which is United Workers. It's an NGO. It gets millions of dollars from the federal government and the state. And yet that group, I want to read to you what that group is dedicated to, and it's on their website. I read it myself. And it's amazing that we allow our government to fund these things. So, Trabajadores Unidos, it's a subgroup of the community. A subgroup exists to confront the ICE raids and detention and deportation cases affecting our communities. That's one. It also works to dismantle the systems and institutions based on capitalism, white supremacy, patriarchy, and climate change that exploit and oppress our community. These are highly political statements on the website, and they're getting federal and state money for that, millions of dollars. And we're seeing that there's lots of NGOs that get that kind of money. So we really need to look at how the government is spending our money.
And we'll report it out to you more and more here with the Center Square. Get the latest at thecentersquare.com. The newsletter available for free. We are a free news wire service to keep you, the taxpayer, up to date of how government's impacting you. So get those headlines at thecentersquare.com.